Now, college athletes have a lot on their shoulders. Stress is not something many 18 to 22-year-olds are equipped to handle. But up next, Quick Takes Vanessa Perdomo speaks with Ivan Chachuo, who founded The Zone, an app for all the mental health benefits students may need.
So tell me about the Zone. How did you get the inspiration to start this company and what do you guys do?
Coming to America at the age of like 8 and not knowing any English and having to deal with that day to day, was the first time in my life where it was like, man, it was unreal. So sports was like the beginning for me. I played basketball, and I was lucky enough to get a college scholarship at Concordia College. And when I got injured, it was like done, season ending injury. And I didn't know what to do, right? I didn't know what my school offered. I was too scared to talk. I didn't even know how to talk about what I was going through. Fast forward into now, after doing immense research and doing, dealing with a lot of athletes, I learned that there's a lot of student athletes that, struggle in silence, right? They don't feel trusted enough to go to on their campus and say, hey, I need help, right? So how do we develop a resource for the kid that is quiet and silent, struggling in silence, the parents that are worried about their kids' well-being, and put all their wellness resources in the app in their pockets? So that's initially what the Zone do. We focus on the mental side, the nutritional side, the financial education side, and make sure kids is as well-rounded as possible, not only for on the court, but off the court life.
A lot of the time, student isn't the number one priority, and mental health isn't the number one priority. It's physical health and peak performance. But how much do you think of an impact it would have if mental health was just as big of a part of performance as the rest of practice?
I think it's essential. Schools think that they have it figured out. Some haven't figured out because the numbers say schools are investing $2,000 in counseling, right? But they're only getting 11% engagement. And the 11% engagement, that's really low for $1 million investment, right? And then you go further, student athletes spend on average 71 hours a week being a student athlete, right? That commitment, that schedule. So the pressures, the day-to-day, your schedules are made for you. How do you, as a 18 to 22-year-old, learn to cope with that without help, right? Because as adults, we have therapists, we have performance coaches. But at that young age, we have to make sure that, our future generations understand that it's okay to seek help on the mental side, right? Because it's just as important on the physical side.
And like you said, colleges are investing the money. So they think that they're actually helping, but the 11% engagement says a lot. What are you learning from the schools that you are partnering with that about what the athletes think about, or the students in general think about what their colleges are doing for them? How do they feel that their colleges are helping them with success for the future or to be a good student?
Over 50% of student athletes don't know where to find mental health needs, right? It's even bigger that 78% of student athletes feel like, athletic departments and the staff at the, higher positions don't make decisions that's in best of their favor. And that's tough numbers, right? So I think that it's a big disconnect versus what the staff thinks the student wants and versus what the student wants, right? And I think that if we can find a place where we could come in the middle, what we have learned is talking to a lot of universities, they're trying to figure out who their kids are. So how do we have enough data and insights to when we're talking to the schools to give the schools an aggregate so they know at least, man, this is how they're doing, this is what their needs are, and this is how they consume things. Let's kind of meet them there.
And so for you and your company, what does success look like for you in creating concrete change for these students?
I want a student athlete to say, I have the support that I need for my well-being on a daily basis in my pocket in this app. And I don't have to go and source it out and pay for so many different platforms. I don't have to look up YouTube and see if this is verified information. I can get this because I trust the Zone and I know they've built a hub of wellness resources to get me through my day-to-day well-being, right? So that's one. Number two, we want staff members in schools to say, we better understand the needs of our student athletes. And we are better suited through the Zone to be able to service them for the long haul, right? We can make sure that we're looking at the student and the athlete in the total duality and in their well-being for the future.
Ivan, thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to continue to see this grow and change for the mental health of student athletes.
Fascinating idea, and thanks to Vanessa Perdomo, who spoke with Ivan Chachuo. Now, coming